Hello, and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to Skygate, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that takes place almost entirely underground. Last time, you had started your path to Vordra, and you had made your way to Slupton, the Svirfneblin city along the edge of the Slagmere, a giant magma ocean down deep in the Underdark. You have secured passage on the Beholder's Bollocks, and have a cardinal direction in a distance to go after this strange artifact that Zaraxis is interested in retrieving. And you have a day's time still before that trip is ready to go. And in the meantime, you went to Bogtroddle's Bogtroddle's peculiar Menagerie, in which you have started the different events. You've done some games, you've gone to some of the different tents and stuff. But last when we had left off, you had just heard the kind of announcement, the come one, come all, the main event, and people started to line up outside of the large tent. I assume you were all doing the same, unless you want to throw a curveball at me.
We will go see the quick time event.
Main event.
Yeah.
The main event. All right. Are you guys trying to get, like, how close to the front are you wanting to get? You guys trying to, like, rush in and get a good front row spot, or do you not really care?
I like the middle seat. I like the middle. I feel like that's like...
I want to be out of what I assume is going to be a splash zone.
You want to be out of the area of effect.
Until I
fireball
know
goes
what
off
I'm
in the
being
middle.
splashed by, yeah.
Fair enough. So you guys will kind of make your way over there with haste, but not like dash over and try and get right in. And so you kind of end up in the lineup. And as you're in the lineup and people are starting to kind of slowly go in, they kind of seem to be filtering people in so they can like slowly start to take the seats and not get too crowded and confused. And as they start letting people in, moving through the crowd, you can see quite a few little kobolds with the kind of different face paint on. And they're just doing all sorts of little shenanigans, you know, like they like reach behind people's ears and pull out like, you know, some sort of little like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Trinket?
They're like a little like kind of tube, like a little like kind of brass tube out from behind someone's ear, and they're like, oh, and they stick it in their mouth and they blow into it, and it like sprays water in their face. You know, there's one kobold that's chasing another kobold around and continuously pulling like a long string of tied together handkerchiefs out of his pocket, and he's just trying to get away from him, but he just keeps pulling these handkerchiefs out of his pocket. Just doing all sorts of shenanigans, clown foolery. As to keep the masses entertained as the lineup goes in. Eventually you guys get in, get your kind of center, middle of the way seats, and the main event begins. The main event, and as this goes in, those kobold clowns are kind of throughout just going to be kind of harassing people in the audience, going around and messing with people, and occasionally they kind of wander onto and off of the kind of center stage. And then the main event begins. At first there's quite a few different kind of lights and stuff that are set up, different like torches that they've kind of projected through lanterns. But then a bunch of them all get snuffed all at once, or they kind of like close the hood on the lantern so that it gets very dark and all the curtains are drawn. And then one very bright lantern that casts a kind of unnerving, almost unsettling, like deep blue light, either through some sort of lens or alchemical or magical flame. And as it lights up, a person that you didn't see in the center but is there now, is standing there. And it appears to be a harpy, kind of feathered female figure that is standing there. And there's that kind of this moment of quiet waiting. And then she begins to sing, and sings a very beautiful melody. I do need everybody to roll a wisdom save as the song begins.
Wisdom save. I do have a -1 to this.
No! I
One of my other dice
am
sources.
lured in by the booby
I forgot you had dice with Christmas
bird.
dice.
That is a 15.
Oh, shit.
15.
Huh. It was...
Uh-oh.
I have a -2, right?
-1.
-1? Oh.
So,
You know-
want to go around the circle?
Yeah, so Jerry, you said 15. So
Yes.
15 for Zraxis. What does Dermir have?
12.
12, okay. And Lala?
1.
1, alright. Axel?
13.
13. What do we have from you, Candle?
You know, you wouldn't, based off of Candle's character so far, expect him to be very good at something like
Wisdom.
a wisdom save. But it's also a 13, which feels alright.
Alright. And last but not least, what do we have from Theogar?
This many.
Hey, you doubled somebody else. The good news is most of you make it. The DC of this check is 12, and meets it beats it. So just the 1 and the 2 fail. As this song kind of laces through, and this mystical, enchanting melody goes through the crowd, you can see quite a few people kind of glaze over and like seem to get lost in the music. Any of you who failed this check will get the enchanted sort of debuff. For the next 2 hours, you have disadvantage on all wisdom saving throws.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throws incoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of it.
Bad.
So who didn't fail him?
Everybody succeeded except for Lala and Theogar, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see
Yep,
any.
so just Lala and Theogar have disadvantage just for the next 2 hours on wisdom saving.
Okay.
After this song ends, and there's kind of a pause moment, the lantern kind of flashes and shuts back down, and then all the lights kick on shortly afterwards, and the stage is empty. The harpy has disappeared. But then suddenly a kind of boisterous, kind of booming, mostly drum music beat starts to play. You can see what looks like a kind of menagerie of these kobolds that have the same sort of face paint, but have a variety of instruments kind of tucked in a corner that have started playing it. And as this kind of boisterous, bouncy beat starts to go off, stomping out onto the stage, you see Lazla the Mighty. And you can see a couple of kobolds. When I say a couple, I mean like probably 10 to 15 kobolds behind her, like slowly dragging this mat that has all this stuff on it. And you can see like some of them dragging other things behind it. It's taking, 5 to 10 of them each time as they start setting up all these big weights. Anyone who, what's anyone's passive perceptions?
12.
15. I'm the scout.
Does anyone have a 15 or with a 15 or higher?
I have a 15.
It's just yours. Okay.
Just Candle.
With the 15, you can tell that the kobold. You can tell that they're not faking it. You can tell that the kobolds are legitimately struggling a lot to move these, and you think these are actually real weights, not the typical strongman like fake weights just to pretend like they're.
See, the trick is you hire really weak kobolds.
Well, see, but the real thing is, does he hear them quietly swearing out how they hate this bit? And then that's how you know it's
16,
real.
you can hear them being like, "Fuck, I had a strong woman show to the." And then the strong woman show begins. Lazla starts doing crazy feats of strength. She'll hold bars up over her head. You'll see her it's fairly acrobatic as well, where she'll like toss a weight up in the air and then kind of like half cartwheel up into a handstand and catch it on a foot and balance it while holding herself up on her arms. She has they'll bring out like a pan that's like an iron pan that she'll bend with her bare hands, all sorts of different stuff that just kind of are like these feats of strength, and the crowd all gasps and ahs and claps and seems to enjoy the strong woman show. After that happens, you can see that there's like kind of a brief almost interlude where you can see 2 little carriages pulled by kobolds one is blue and brightly decorated, the other's red and brightly decorated. And you see them run out and kind of spin around and crash into each other intentionally, like in a comedic like fall over sort of effect. And then a unreasonable amount of kobolds, each dressed as clowns but in red or blue costuming, start pouring out of these 2 boxes and filling the stage. And you can see that as they kind of stack up and go around, you can see them each start to almost like a cheerleader pyramid, like climb up on top of each other, and they start to kind of build 2 different little walking kobold superhumans, where it's built out of like 9 to 10 kobolds, and the 2 of them start waddling over to each other and start having this like giant kobold boxing match between these 2 clown pyramids.
Beautiful.
And let's see here. And it's a pretty pathetic display from both sides, but red does win.
There you go.
Eventually, red gets like a big the two that are kind of being used as the arms push in just the right way, and this thing tumbles over, falls over, and the blue team all collapses down onto the ground. And a bunch of kids, a bunch of young Svirfneblin children all giggle up at the front of the audience. After that, you can see kind of walking onto the stage what looks like a, let me see here. Let me make sure I'm describing this person correctly. Where is it? Oh, here we go. You see walking out a quite dramatically dressed, kind of in your classic like circus ringleader kind of clothes, a Svirfneblin, who walks out and seems to, with some sort of enchantment magic, some sort of thaumaturgy or something, have a booming voice. As he says, "Hello and welcome everybody, I am Filchus Bogtroddle and you're at my peculiar menagerie. And now for your eyes to feast upon, look at the beasts from above." And you can see kind of dangerously prodding and moving out all the beasts that you saw in the tent begin kind of doing this march and walk around. They seem to have little dorky collars on. They seem, it's a classic animal cruelty of the circus as these animals start kind of parading in a circle around, some of them doing tricks. You can, no check required really, you can tell that the axe beak, a camel, the trio of monkeys that seem to be kind of swinging and dancing around, a canary that's flying around in the air, the snow leopard, it doesn't really take much checking to see there's a little bit of like fresh red around the mouth of the snow leopard. You're not sure what it got a hold of, but it seems like between when it was in that tent and when it moved to this one, maybe there's one fewer kobold at the circus. But it still seems to kind of regally move along as it's kind of getting prodded along by these different kobolds.
I forget that this is a character element of mine, but I essentially have the pet pal perk from Divinity. I can just speak to animals at will. So, like, are they saying anything interesting, or?
You can tell that there's like a bit of like a low grumbly roar coming from the snow leopard, and it is basically saying like, "These foolish little creatures are lucky that last one has satiated me and I'm not hungry, or I would get that one prodding me in the back and give him what for." But apart from that, the rest just seem to be kind of not really saying anything in particular. And after this kind of parade and like some of these acts of these animals moving around, walking out into the middle, our Filchus Bogtroddle will kind of walk around to the middle as these animals go around. He says, "And before this next and final act, just a brief word for all of our audience here listening. The Menagerie is made possible by your generous donations, so any and all would be helped to make sure that the peculiar Menagerie may continue to gallivant through the Underdark and return soon to Slufton for your entertainment." And as he says this, I need everyone to make me a wisdom saving throw. Those of you who have disadvantage will do so with disadvantage.
We got
17.
Okay,
for some reason.
we'll go in the same order. So 17 for you, Dermir.
15.
15. And for Lala,
That was a 4 plus disadvantage.
4. Okay. 4. And then can someone
So
roll
I have-
for Axel?
So whatever. But...
So 3.
Oh yeah, you roll two. You roll 2 d20s and take the lower one for this.
Oh.
She's got really good wisdom saves. 16 for Axel.
Nice.
Barely beat out by a 17 for Candle.
Which one was lower, the first one?
Nice.
The first one was low.
And what do we have from you over there?
But you have -1 to that, I think, too.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. There you go.
-1.
3. Okay.
3.
3. Okay. Everyone with a 15 and up is unaffected. So
God, I have
10 to
hit it on
15s?
the mark today, man. Oh,
Hey, is there any 10 to 14s? There was none, right? It was all high or the couple low. Anyone below 5, you feel magically compelled to be incredibly generous and feel the desire to give as much as you can to this lovely menagerie, thinking that this was such an entertaining night, they deserve a great deal of your wealth. Mechanically, you are required to give at least 50% of the gold currently on your person as a donation to Bogtroddle's Peculiar Menagerie.
Cool. I have 0 gold.
You what?
I have no money. Literal 0.
Broke. Well, then you feel the need to donate in some other way. I don't know how much money Lala has on her, but from what I remember, I think she's like the richest in the party, so this will be
She
interesting.
was, but then she bought a bunch of people riding lizards and fancy saddles and stuff like that.
Right, she did.
It is kind of funny that.
And kind of moving around, these kobold clowns come out, and a bunch of them have these like big potato sacks that they start to move through the crowd with. And you can see quite a few people in the audience generously donating.
You said
To the
50,
peculiar menagerie.
50%?
At least,
God damn it.
at least
Jocelyn's been
half.
hoarding her gold, so
Like
That's
a
gonna be
true
rough.
dragon.
Okay, when they come by, can I put in the sack the bottle with fluid that I won from one of the prizes? Or
You
one of the
can?
game?
The bottle of fluid is a potion. I don't know if you knew what potion it was.
No, we did not establish that. It's just a bottle of fluid.
That's from the ring toss game, right?
I believe so, yes.
Times paper.
Yeah, because one of you got a potion from the ring toss game.
I believe it, yeah. Okay, well, never mind then. I did not. I didn't remember if that was a potion or not.
That's how much you're giving.
So it was just, on my list, I just see bottle with fluid. Well, that's going in the bag. It's phony.
I had a lot of money.
What are Theogar and Lala donating to Bogtroddle's Peculiar Menagerie?
I'll give them my old llama sword.
Okay. This little kobold comes up with a potato sack and you just stab a sword into it.
I assume it's in its sheath, but yeah.
I don't use it anymore. They can have it.
Alright. This is in gold. So
Okay.
I'm giving them 1,159 gold pieces.
All right, 1,159 gold pieces. A very generous donation for the menagerie.
Can that kobold even carry that much gold?
It's very royalty.
How would the long
Another one
sword
has to
stand
come over and
out?
grab the other into the sack for them to drag it with them.
Now I'm curious.
I'm so fucking pissed right now. At least I have fucking steal my fucking gold.
And then lastly, after all this goes on, Filchus, right? Yeah, Filchus, after his great speech, he'll say, thank you, ladies and gentlemen and friends of the deep. Now, for the final act, a thing rarely seen by the eyes, at least not for long, for those who would still draw breath. For your viewing entertainment, I have the beautiful Drow Balena, princess of the great house Zilva of the great house Hunzrin, for an acrobatic show. And he kind of stumbles away, he kind of bows and backs away, and you can see the lantern's light illuminating these kind of upper catwalk things that have these strings tied between them, and some of these kind of ribbons and things that dangle down. And standing up there, dressed a bit, the dressing is very colorful and bright, which looks a bit odd on this very stern-faced drow woman. Very beautiful drow woman, but clearly actually a drow. That has these kind of this kind of beautiful flowing but very brightly colored gown on. And she begins to do tightrope walks, slipping, catching, swinging, throwing herself up, and does these kind of crazy feats of acrobatics. Sometimes she'll like swing, drop, and like catch onto those ribbons and do the kind of like where you like lace yourself in it, do like the crazy tumbling. And it's just like very, very impressive display of acrobatic dexterity feats. You had a 15 on your passive perception, right?
Yep.
With a 15 on passive perception, something does seem off about her. Like, watching all this stuff, it's very impressive what she does, You notice that's something that no one else does, which is that her face seems very stoic and almost emotionless throughout the time she's doing these acts, and has these twists and turns. And the people, all these different sort of, are, gasping and looking. You can hear like, is that actually a drow up there? Oh my goodness! Oh, does he have a drow in the circus? That kind of stuff. As all these crazy twists and turns happen in the air. And after a big grand flourish, the lanterns will close off, kind of no longer illuminating the top. There's kind of a brief moment of darkness, and then all the lanterns kick back on, and some music kicks back on, and she is no longer up on the captain.
Do Smurf Neblin have dark vision?
They do.
So anytime the lights go out, I just vanish. Because I'm invisible to dark vision. So like, anytime the lights go out, like everybody just stops being able to see me until the lights go back out, which is very funny.
That is pretty good. And then the music kicks back on, the tent doors get drawn back open, and the main event seems to have passed.
Well, I don't necessarily know. I mean, just apart from it, I mean, look, the circus is a scam. We knew that as soon as the harpy came out.
Right.
I mean, honestly, we knew that earlier with
when we tried to cheat at the ring toss and they cheated us.
Right, exactly.
That's every carnival.
It's right. So and it's just a carnival. So of course it's all a scam. So like, I don't necessarily care if they're like, wow, look, a drow, and doing like an acrobatic performance, and it's not actually a drow. I don't necessarily know what we gain from investigating.
I know what we do gain from coming back in 2 hours. My money.
Lala demands a refund.
Are we gonna do side quests to steal your money back?
I want to. I want my money back.
No, you don't want to.
Really? Anybody could steal the money back?
Currently in your mind, you were like, that was the best circus show I've ever seen. I wish I had more money on me so I could have given them more money, is your current mind state.
Well, you stole a king and told treasure.
Feel better, Jocelyn. You basically now have.
Then you stole a king from a different king.
No, that doesn't make me feel any better.
And I haven't spent a whole lot of money.
Those heights,
I want my money back. In 2 hours, I want my money back.
The question, because Hoon's Ring is actually one of the great drow houses.
I was thinking they might be able to give us some insight maybe into how we could get through the city without causing a ruckus.
Yeah, I mean, I get from what we've heard, the only thing the drow like more than plotting is fucking up other drow plots.
Exactly.
So it would be kind of nice to know, because as far as we can tell, Argonala houses are the kidnappers,
right,
based off the logo. So it'd be nice to know,
how to screw them over.
Yeah. Who hates their guts? Who would be interested in making a deal to help us fuck them over?
Yeah.
Who would be willing to help us rescue a bunch of hostages from them just for a laugh?
Just because it would fuck them up. Yeah.
She might know that.
Yeah.
If she's actually a drow.
Because when have we ever had an opportunity to talk to a drow?
It's true.
Yeah. No.
Well, the drow in the hole.
That is true. But he had other problems.
We mostly assumed
Throw
it
in
was a
some
drow.
gold.
I don't think we ever actually got to look at it.
Drow in a hole.
That's not how that melody goes.
Drow in a hole. Throw in some gold.
Losing my gold.
We can try.
I'd like to try. I'm gonna.
You might be in good graces because Lala just donated a bunch of money to the circus.
Yeah, do we have VIP passes or something because of a massive donation? Because of Lala's massive donation?
Our massive donation. Yeah.
You think you could recognize the two goblins or the two kobolds that walked away with her giant sack of gold? You think you could spot them in the crowd of kobold claims?
About it.
You guys aren't gonna help me in any fucking way, shape, or form?
You To everyone's.
You voluntarily gave your gold.
You are so
If
happy.
anyone asks you, like, what are you doing? You say, this is the greatest circus I've ever seen. I wish I could give them more.
If my prince of a boyfriend was here, I'd make him give up something.
Half the kingdom to this circus. The royal treasury to this menagerie.
Anything this circus asks, even up to half my kingdom. Okay, we'll take that.
My
gonna kill
dwarf
that
kin
harpy.
status.
Don't marry that harpy.
Bob, don't take that job. Bob, don't marry that harpy.
Yeah, I think that could be an opportunity to see what's going on with this drow lady, and
How are you going about trying to talk to her?
is she like? Is there like a how to put it? There's like a bunch of different like
The
stalls, but it didn't seem like any of those would be like an acrobatics performance, right? Like.
There's a lot of what? Oh, the stalls and stuff?
Stalls.
Yeah, there's not like somewhere that's set up to show her. It seems like she was just part of the main event. She doesn't have like a separate tent or stand where she's at.
Well, I guess.
I mean, I assume the ringmaster's probably out mingling after the main event. We could always ask them.
Yeah,
for
possible.
audience. The Bogtroddle.
The Bogtroddle. Yeah, if he's around, he might be a good person to talk up.
All right.
Do you know what he looks like?
You can see he is kind of back out at the front of the tent and seems to be, calling out like, thank you for coming. Thanks for your donations. Please stay a while. Enjoy some of the other festivities here at Bogtroddle's Peculiar Menagerie. Yatta-da, yatta-da. And as people are going out, he's still doing his chanting thing, thanking everybody. You could definitely approach if you'd like.
Yeah, let's try to approach him and ask about it.
Okay. There's got a person up in front of you, just like, Sir Devlin who's shaking his hands like, this is the greatest circus I've ever seen. He's like, yes, I know.
Yes,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It is pretty good.
Thank you for your donation. Yes, hello, welcome. Good to see you all. I hope you enjoyed the menagerie.
Our friend absolutely loved it. We were wondering if there would be an opportunity to speak with the acrobat that was doing the performance.
You'll kind of like raise an eyebrow at each of you. Do you wish to speak to the dangerous drow from up on top of the tightrope?
Yes.
He'll kind of look
I'm
you
even
all
willing
over.
to get up on the tightrope to talk to them if that's what it takes.
I'll be like, well, she's not the most trusting of outsiders. I'd say, I think I saw you, and he kind of points to Lala. He says, I think I saw you gave a quite generous donation. If one of you would like to get to meet her and have a conversation, I'll allow it. But she doesn't like crowds.
Okay.
Send the wizard.
Send the wizard.
Is it me? Lala is pretty good at talking too.
And
she
did already give a huge.
Yeah, but
I
she's
gave
got
you-
disadvantage on rolls, and
I think this would be a great opportunity for Jocelyn to get to do some RP stuff.
I'm just worried about like we might need somebody to like. It'd be nice to know if this is a magical illusion or something. So we might want someone with some.
Can two people? I did give you
What? That's a favorite drow.
a shit ton of gold. So, like,
Give me persuasion. Give me persuasion. From Lala.
okay.
I mean, disguise self is one thing. That's a little.
+6.
Come on.
Come on.
I would cast a judgmental glance.
Persuasion.
Wonder how
Oh,
it
16.
campaigns back in the 70s, right?
16. That was me rolling your damage, sorry.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty.
He's gonna kind of like look at you for a second. He's gonna like kind of look over and he's gonna call over a kobold that you recognize as the one of the two that dragged away the sack of gold you did. And he's gonna how much did you get? He kind of like his eyes go wide. He's like, you know what? You got it, two of you. Just give her some space. Just give her some space when you go in there. Here, follow me. Follow. And he'll kind of walk with the two of you and bring you around back of this kind of large tent to what looks like a number of smaller tents. And he'll lead you up to one of them, and he'll kind of slap on the outside of the tent a little bit and be like, "You decent in there?" And you hear just a kind of very soft yes. All right, we got a couple of adoring fans. Make sure you're real nice to them. Go on in there, folks. Have a good conversation.
Stops the tent.
And he'll let the two of you in.
She's no Dolgarita.
She's no Dolgarita.
And you can see sitting at what looks like kind of like a sort of pop-up portable like makeup dresser stand sort of thing, sitting there and seemingly cleaning off some makeup off of her face, now wearing what looks like kind of more casual clothing, probably the kind of undergarment thing that was under the more elaborate colorful clothing, this drow woman standing there. This close, especially without the like kind of obnoxious bright clothing and over the top makeup that she had on before, you can see just how like strikingly beautiful and like chiseled this person is. Like chiseled in a muscle sense and chiseled in a like features sense. She has like sharp angled jaw, like drawn tight against her skin. She's got like sharp nose, sharp like cheekbones. Everything is like it's borderline like Chad face, where like every feature is like super pronounced and sharp. But she's like a strikingly, almost hauntingly beautiful person.
Nah, it's handsome Squidward.
It's handsome Squidward.
Yeah.
Handsome Squidward with red eyes. That's what this drow is. And she will stand up and give kind of a slow, low, kind of like legs kind of flaring out bow down to each of you. And she will say, my name is Belena. Who are you?
Well, I'm Axel, and this is Dame Lala Pripsy
The third.
the third.
Lala Porina Lorlipsy the third, dwarfkin.
I kid.
Actually.
Sorry, it's been a while since I had to say the whole thing.
Had to say the whole thing. And she'll be like, a pleasure to meet you both. I hope you enjoyed the circus.
It was quite good.
It was amazing. Best circus I've ever seen in my life.
I love how bitter you are. It feeds me. Yes.
Shut up and take my money. That's why you spend all your money all the time, so no one can steal it.
It's true. It's true. And then they
Both
just
of you
steal
roll
the
me a
magic.
perception.
Bragging Costigan.
Can't be wrong if you have nothing of value.
Both of you roll me a perception.
Okay. Jocelyn is at a -1. Okay. Oh, and you also have disadvantage because it's a.
Well, it's for wisdom saves, right?
Oh.
Wisdom checks.
Is it wisdom saves or wisdom checks?
It's just wisdom saves.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just wisdom saves. So your persuasion is still normal. Or perception, excuse me.
Okay. -1.
Yep. So I have a 15.
15?
I have an 8.
An 8.
Yeah.
This was an awesome circus and you're loving having a conversation. You notice super subtly while you're talking with Belena that she's like talking and seems to be like, if still very stoically, but like smiling and being like engaging. You can see that her eyes oftentimes for split seconds don't match the emotion of the rest of her face. It's almost like she'll have like a kind of soft smile, but her eyes will kind of pierce and glare at you for just like a split second and then go back to like a soft smile. And then she'll be like nodding in agreement and her eyes will like kind of open wide and then relax back.
If this is like,
As she seems to be kind of...
if this is like a captive drow,
Yeah.
we could earn like major drow allies.
That's what I'm
But
trying to.
look, we busted a lot of people out of a lot of places in Dungeons and Dragons. We've heisted a lot of things. We've never stolen a drow from a circus, and that sounds like an excellent heist if that's the direction.
In the next 2 hours, I will steal a drow and
We
my
just
money
gotta,
back.
we just,
goddammit.
we just need to hope that it doesn't go full Blue Star job on us.
Oh, it's going full Blue Star job, Jerry. That's the only type of heist this play group can do. It seems like.
Yeah,
Over the
that's
time Costigan stole a king and it went off perfectly.
I'm trying to see if either of us
Costigan did steal a
have
key.
like a disenchant ability. Or like some way to, it's like maybe like a geist or something like that would be something
Could we
that could break it.
buy a potion, maybe, and come back?
Possibly, but something like enhance ability on like wisdom could be helpful in like breaking someone out of a compulsion. Let me look up that ability real quick, that spell. Sorry, it's
For
kinda-
enhance ability?
rules, yeah.
You want to look up enhance ability or?
I know it's advantage on wisdom checks, but there's usually another
Dice, but-
small thing
But
that
you
it
would probably
adds.
have some.
Could I roll an Arcana to be like, does she like seem like she's under
Roll it,
compulsion? Yeah. See if I can.
The like mental ones don't give any other bonuses. The con, strength, and dex ones I'll give another small bonus, but for the advantage on wisdom checks, it's Owl's wisdom, and that's just wisdom checks
Yep.
for enhance ability.
Damn.
Or you can target more creatures.
You can, yeah, but you can roll a Arcana if you want.
Yeah. I just didn't roll very
Just to
well,
see what-
so I'm desperately.
Oh,
thinking
what was it?
It was only a 9.
A 9. I mean, you know what you know as a player at the moment, which is like that could be a sign of that, but you don't know exactly what the spell would
It
be.
could just be that she's
If
trying
enhance
to be
ability would help.
polite, and then she's like, "Get the fuck out of my tent." But my guts
Well, you
says
can roll,
it's
roll me
cool.
an insight. Roll me an insight.
Okay.
I'll let you roll the
follow-up. Yeah. Insight a 10. Not.
A 10.
Yeah.
You think something's off.
Yeah.
You don't think that it's her like subtly trying to shoo you out of your tent. You don't really know what it is, but something seems weird and off, certainly. That's about as much as you can glean, though.
What have I got that might be? Because I can definitely get her out of here stealthily. Like that wouldn't be a problem. I guess I'm gonna try to direct the conversation that way of something like, we're
Like heading towards Fort.
yeah, we're headed towards Mordra. Some knowledge about the city would be helpful. We could use a guide if you're interested in getting out of here. Like try to.
And you can roll me an advantaged perception.
I will be pretty good at this. 17 on that one.
17. You know what to look for now. You can tell as she's answering, like her eyes more so, it seems like are fighting harder to try and belay her true intent, while her mouth lies. As her mouth's speaking, and what she's saying is this like, well, I haven't been to Vordra in some time, and my knowledge of the city is probably quite old. I am afraid I would be of no help, and my life is the circus, so I would have a hard time leaving it behind.
I see.
You notice like a bit of the sort of guys slipping more. It seems like more passionate emotion from behind the eyes.
Okay.
Blink once if you want us to help you escape. Blink twice for no.
Basically.
What is it? The like.
Oh yeah, the like universal sign of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm in trouble. I need help. Whatever.
Yeah.
I believe it is. It's that. It's like thumb in and
Yeah. it's
go
like the
over.
Hunger Games
I think
thing.
is like I'm being held hostage here, or this person's threatening me, and I can't say anything because they're threatening me.
God, I
Good thing to know.
It is a handy thing to know for sure. I have a couple of different ways I can do this. It's just a matter of, it's the classic wizard problem where you're like, listen, there's a lot of different kinds of mental compulsion. How you deal with them and like what the effects of them are. It's like, if I could just, do I just need to like get you a proximity out of the circus? Do I have to dispel an actual effect on you? Are you, it's like there's so many different ways that now I'm just like, what's the play?
We solve this by getting hold of Bogtroddle and we fling him into the lava.
Right, that's the other thing. Is it just do we have to assassinate Bogtroddle to like lift the curse? It's like there's so many different ways that it could be.
I
Why don't we do all?
I don't understand. They enjoyed the circus so much. They were so generous with their donations, and then they came back that night and murdered him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my gold back plus more.
Yeah. I have a plan that might work. Technically, there's 2 spells that I could use that would help us in this situation.
Did you ever roll for what your daily spell was?
I didn't. Could we just do that real quick? Maybe I'll get something lucky.
Sure, let's do. Yeah,
Just curious. Maybe we're overthinking things, but it'd be fun.
you can just go for it. Go for it. It's just it should be fine.
10.
It's fine. It's fine. 10. Okay. It's just that there's more than meets the eye with the Celestial Basin, and so
It's funny that
doing
we
it
just used it as a-
retroactively could be troublesome depending on
Oh,
what
I
you
see.
roll. But that's okay. 10 is fine. go. A 10, you roll Heloderma, the star, which gives you a Chardolon stride, which is like a thing that lets you dash and deal damage as you like run by people, I believe.
Gotcha. So possibly helpful, but not directly. Because
Not necessarily for what you're trying to solve at the moment.
Yeah. My two directions right now are I can feign death, which might be able to like knock off whatever effect it is, or we can like smuggle her out as like, oh no, she's dead. You know, it's which could be a way of like, you know, getting her out of the situation where it's just like they leave her behind or something like that. Because it's only a 1 day thing, right? Or it's a like
Duration for
Where feign death. It does have to be a willing creature, I believe, too,
Right.
for feign death. So they'd have to be willing.
Yeah. And then if
I don't
if
remember
she
how long it
isn't
lasts,
able
but-
to be willing, I can also do polymorph, which is once a day, which would allow us to, you know, we turn you into a mouse and then we just run out of here, you know. And that would get us enough time. But that only works if it's a proximity effect. If it's literally tied to like Bogtroddle himself, then
We won't know until we try to kill him.
Do you have? We won't know until he's dead.
I think
do you
Johnson
have,
might have a
do you have
bias.
detect magic?
I do.
Because that might tell you.
Can you identify someone that is under the effect of a spell? Or is it only items?
Casting Identify can tell you the nature of a spell affecting something. I think it also works on people if you'd use that.
I
Let me
think
double check
that's
that.
what I remember.
I know that it does let you know what spell effects are affecting an object. One object you must touch out. You touch one object throughout the death, magic item, the parts you use, whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. So it is for items specifically.
That would make it a lot easier.
Yeah, magic item or some other magic imbued object.
Yeah,
I feel
object.
like declaring that people
So
are
it's,
objects
I
sets a
w-
bad precedent.
I would say you could attempt to do it on like clothing
Oh, if you
or
instead
jewelry,
touch a
but not on
creature.
her herself.
Oh, we have extra.
If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
Oh, I didn't see that on the one I just looked up. There you go.
There you go. That's why we have the books.
Well, if
Okay.
they eroded that effect out, I've got an older
Exactly.
PhD, so
Fair enough.
According to this translation of this exact text, this thing can work this way. So I'm gonna try that. I'm going to maybe have a Lala like carry the conversation a little bit, and I'll just like cast identify.
You do have to touch her, I believe, to do that. You have to
Yes.
throughout the casting of the spell.
Right.
So how do you go about putting a hand on her in a way that doesn't seem
in
weird?
a way that doesn't.
Or maybe it does seem weird. I don't know.
Yeah, let's
whatever
see.
your approach is.
Oh, there's a bug.
I honestly, it's like, oh no, like what's that? And then I won't go. I can't do anything more suave. Just be like, oh, you have a thing, and just like, tick.
Okay. And you'll cast Identify.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily a name for this spell, but you basically get that there is a spell that is currently on her. It seems to be something sort of a mix between enchantment and illusion in nature, probably. And the information the spell gives you is that there's some sort of rune that's been drawn on her that's carrying the spell over, and the rune would have to be erased and removed in some way to stop it.
I see.
I wonder.
Drawn on her?
So it could
Like-
be a tattoo or a scar or something like that.
That's brutal.
Well, time to do some laser removal surgery as I pull
Yeah.
and sheath a knife.
Speaking of polymorph, at least while she was under
You would
polymorph, she would maybe not be under the effects of
You would understand that the person under the effect has some ability to try and fight back against it, but it's usually only in very subtle ways they're able to show that it's not affecting them, or to have it not affect them. You make me an Arcana check. Make me another Arcana check.
Yeah, I'm a wizard. I'm great at that. Another 9. Fuck.
You're as good as
Another
at Arcana
9.
as you are a wizard.
I'm decent at it. I just rolled 2 5s. I was like, shit.
Oh yeah. That's what you got. I have no other advice for you than what I've said.
Yeah. So Yeah, it's definitely. If it's a rune in this way, I'm gonna assume that, yeah, if we killed like Bogtroddle, but if we could just erase the rune, that'd be the other side of it. But if it's like carved into her a tattoo, like something that's not easily erased. See, it's times like this that I needed to take like dispel magic or something. Wait, does do you have dispel magic?
I do, but I don't know how I would know to use it.
Well, I mean, I would tell you to use it. You're just not there, so it would just be a matter of like
Sneaking it
Yeah.
in, killing that guy, pull back, doing that.
I don't have it prepared.
right. Okay, so we need a full thing. So we need a proper kidnapping.
Is that a third level spell?
Well,
Yes.
if the drow are
It
going
is
to
a
kidnap
third.
all of our people, we're going to start kidnapping the drow in order to save our
Exactly.
people. It's only fair.
It's only fair,
Tit for tat.
as it were.
Is it, if only a
It's
Tit
tweet.
for tat as it were.
Robert did scatter.
Rapper Dib Scabber. Yeah.
Man, yeah, illusion and enchantment. So not only is she like forced to be nice, but there's like illusion magic forcing her to look friendly. Like, it's like, man, this guy's a real
You get the sense understanding this spell that a lot of the illusion part of this is probably, like he said, like her face is underneath a layer of illusion, probably furious or like scared or showing other things.
Right.
And she's just occasionally able to show you a glimpse of what her actual reactions and stuff are to stuff underneath a layer of illusion magic.
Man. I know the drow are kind of like the villains of this campaign,
Sure,
but man, what a son of a bitch.
Yeah, it is a hell of a thing. Yeah. If only I had a dispel effect on me, but we have Sklur who could do a dispel effect.
We'll just come back. I already told you our plan.
Joss is
I
like,
don't think you understand. Our plan is murder.
yeah.
You do know it'll be a night's sleep, or like a long rest for him to be able to prepare a different spell.
Yeah.
And this is a one-day circus, so you're not sure if they'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is we need to have a. How long does polymorph last?
An hour, I believe.
An hour.
Unless
I
you,
believe it's an hour.
unless you find a way to petrify whatever you call it.
I don't have that particular combo, unfortunately, and I think that she would be forced to try and prevent the effect.
She might be forced to try and make the save.
Yeah,
Right.
because of the. We don't know that, but it would make sense.
Because of Bogtroddle's peculiar assholery.
Concentration up to an hour. So, yeah, we could.
I mean, we don't have to. Like, we can come back tonight, but we don't have to have the spell ready. We could still kidnap her against. Kill her. Kidnap her against her will, and then do the spell when the spell is ready.
Well, it's that they're leaving today, probably.
Or they might be leaving in the morning. But
Yeah.
or like we can't guarantee that though.
Yeah, I think the thing is it's like a strike while the iron's hot sort of thing, and then figure it out once you're clear, you know. All right. Well, I'm going to. Oh, this could go. I feel like this could be tough, but if it works, I think we'll have a solid. A solid something to go on, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm gonna use my once a day polymorph to try and.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something like, so, you know, it's a shame you don't want to, like, you can't come with us out of here. But if you had, you know, if I don't know, I feel like I can just be straight with her as well, because it's just like, you know, obviously she's being held here against her will. So it's I'm going to cast a spell. If you cannot resist it, it'll get you out of here. And I'll
Make a
try
perception.
Perception. Crit.
With advantage. Oh, crit.
It's heavy.
With a crit, yeah, you don't need an advantage.
I got lucky
With a
there.
crit, you can clearly see like her eyes kind of dart back and forth, almost like trying to like signify like, no,
Okay.
saying that
Never
you
mind.
casted. When you're talking about like a spell, like if you didn't want to resist this, you see her kind of like seemingly trying to. With a crit, I'll say she's clearly trying. Like she shows herself long enough to tell you like she will try and resist it. She has no ability to not try and resist that.
Well, good thing I didn't go with Feign Death then, because it'll be a, I believe it's Wisdom save for Polymorph. Sorry,
It's fine.
things that I need to know. I need to bring my cards that have all the spells. That would be something.
We're literally gonna come back and do a whole Two Towers exercising Sauron out of hand.
I will draw you, Filchus, as poison is drawn from a wound.
You have no power.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving
Wisdom. It's a 19.
Fuck. Well, there goes that attempt.
You got an inspiration?
Can't make me reroll with it.
Okay.
Damn.
And you see her kind of like stumble back as you try and cast a spell on her, and her like kind of being like, "What was that?
Oh,
I think I'm going to have to ask you to leave."
Yep, don't worry. We will leave right away. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll try to like, yeah. I'll say we'll leave right now, and you know we'll go out. I'd like to make note of where her tent is though.
You got it. You know where it's at.
So that we can
All right.
try.
We do this the only way we can ever do anything. The extremely hard way.
Yes, exactly.
What were we chanting for a long time at the beginning of this?
Bum rush.
Bum rush. Yeah.
Bum rush.
Kill Bogtroddle. She's under some sort of compulsion, so she'll have to fight back. So we have to knock her out and then remove the.
Yeah.
the
I mean, I have other things like hold person could get us, you know, moving. I have other options, but it's just.
And
It's
besides,
you
Zaraxis
can't
is
just
an
go-
expert at surgery.
Wait, can you cast invisibility
Yeah,
on someone
I am.
else? You can, right? That would get us a minute of invisibility while she's held personed, if I could pull that off.
What good does her being invisible do?
Well, because they don't see us carrying her out.
Oh, okay. That's how you. I thought like you meant for like trying to remove the.
I can cast.
Yeah.
I can cast invisibility.
It's a bunch of
Yeah,
people
that's what I was-
pretending.
And then
to
also I
carry
can,
something.
I can cast friends.
Yeah, probably nothing.
The cantrip.
Friends could be good.
So she doesn't fight us back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's an easier pull. I don't know. I think now we're at the point of like, okay, I tried to just solve it with magic, you know, and so now we can like.
You tried to solve it
collaborate.
with some form of
Do
magic.
you want
Some
me?
for magic.
Do you want me to do that?
Well, not right now.
Well, obviously we're not doing it right now.
Yeah, but it might be a. I think it'd be a good thing. Like, we made this attempt. Now we can try to like form a plan and come at it from another way. Because I do think she'd be a valuable.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Tool. A person that is need of rescue.
You know, a tool.
Yeah. So that would be something. And Sklur can have dispel magic, and so if we can just get it to that point, then we can.
Yeah, if we can get her out of there long enough that he can prepare dispel magic. Yeah, the big thing is we do need to like. We do need to do something immediately.
Yeah.
So that the circus doesn't just. So that. I'm trying to make some sort of runaway and join the circus joke.
It's the reverse runaway and join the circus.
Yeah.
Run
The circus
away
will-
from the circus
yeah.
that you joined.
The circus will run away with her if we don't do something fast.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the circus. I want to be an engineer.
Tungsten carbine drills. What the bloody hell's a tungsten carbine drill?
So yeah, we'll get back and we'll discuss it as a team. See if we can.
Okay.
I knew,
You guys can make it back
there
to your
was
team.
Something weird. I knew there was something weird going on. I'll never trust a circus again. Can't think of the last time I saw a circus in Skygate, but I'll never trust a circus again. I mean, I've got some utility as far as like pass without trace, but I don't necessarily have like I don't have any sort of anti-magic capabilities, so.
I don't think really any of us have.
I assume you could only. Yeah, you can only cast that on yourself. No, that would really do as much good, right?
I have. It's campaign, right? Nope, never mind.
I mean, I
Read
have
that wrong.
silence, which could be helpful.
And I mean, if you guys come up with a creative use of a spell, I'll hear you out at least.
Divination? I got daylight.
That
We can
divination-
do, you know, Men in Black style. Just flash some lights.
Okay, hear me out.
Brave memory white.
Hear me out. The entrance fee is 1 for 1. What if we just give him 1 copper for the drow? It works the same, right?
You're welcome to try and ask.
I use my bolt of drow slaying. Not entirely sure how that helps us, but
I use my mage slayer feat.
I have disguise self. I have friend. I have invisibility.
And you can upcast invisibility so it can target 2 people, right?
Can
I
I've
use
got pass
stab.
without trace, and I potentially more importantly here silence if we end up having to do something in situ.
Yeah.
I can also cast confusion and then hypnotic pattern.
Those are
Can
more
I
the
cast
classic.
friends and convince her to convert to true dwarf and snap her out of the spell?
You can certainly try. You can certainly try. I think you should all do the thing where you look through every spell you can cast and see what your special trick you have is that you think will work well.
And
Oh,
cast
what's that? Menagerie has a look.
I do have Zone of Truth.
Shatter.
Yeah, I've got a
That could be
Beholder Fear Ray that will target something.
Zone of Truth could be helpful if we use it on Bogtroddle to like get him to release the spell.
Give me another Arcana check.
Yeah, I just
Excellent.
wonder if he can't release the spell because it's like the rune is like drawn
I'm
out
sure
or-
it'll be another 9. So it's
Yeah, it's not a 9. It's an 18 this time. I couldn't get it earlier.
an
Right?
18. Okay. When he brings up Zone of Truth, you do think that if Belena was in a Zone of Truth, she would be required, if she failed to save at least, to answer truthfully the questions you ask her through that. Like that mind control can't force her to lie through a spell that's forcing her to tell the truth. So she would have to tell you the actual truth, you think, with that at the very least.
That could be helpful, but you probably don't have that prepared, do you? Oh, you do. Well, that could at least get us an answer about if we need to kill Bogtroddle to release the curse, or
Well, she's gonna. I was
Well,
about to say she's gonna tell us yes either way, but then again, she wouldn't lie if she's in a zone of truth. So.
yeah. So that's one way of we can get some more.
I mean, I think the solution's dealing with the room, not necessarily getting her out of there,
Sure.
which might be a like cast hold person, cast silence so nobody can hear us, perform impromptu surgery, cure wounds.
I mean,
afterwards.
I do have hold person.
You
have that
do have surgery experience.
I do have surgery experience.
No,
I, as I point to Theogar's shoulder thing.
Beholder eye ray, yeah. I just think that's our potentially our cleanest way to do it. Because between either invisibility or pass without trace, we can get a couple of us in there. And we can try and just like deal with the source of the enchantment, not necessarily just like sneaking her out of there. I mean, there's a very good chance she's gonna want to go kill Bogtroddle anyway, but
That is true.
you know.
Could I roll an art? I guess I haven't even seen the rune, but it's like, would doing like physical damage to the rune like disrupt it?
You know from your previous thing that like to disrupt the room, you'd have to do physical damage to it in some way. Whether it's drawn on, it needs to just be erased. It's carved on, it needs to be like scarred over, or if it's like tattooed on and the skin itself needs to be like cut away. You're not sure what the nature of it is,
Right.
but you know that you need to disrupt the rune in some way to stop its magic.
Okay. Well, yeah, the whole hold person and then healer later sort of thing, and with silence, could be the play then.
I don't think if we go through that method of busting her out, I don't think that will make her hate us more than she
No.
hates being a prisoner.
Sure. I mean, yeah, in the long run, that could be the.
Heck, for all we know, she'd gnaw off her own arm to get rid of this thing.
Yeah.
She just can't do that.
If it's like a scar, if you like branded her, like I could like heat up a knife and we could just like.
Right, something like
Yeah. That's where my surgical skills will come into play.
Yes, doctors are access. Sir, chief resident.
I think
Sir, doctors
how
are
did
we should
you
just bum rush and steal her and just take her away.
How did Jerry become a fake doctor in a second?
Just always
It's fitting, isn't it?
If I had a nickel,
And I have 2 nickels.
which isn't that many, but it's weird to happen twice.
I think we should.
All
go
right, so
full
what's the game
Blue Star
plan?
Drop, just kidnap her. That's what I think.
Yeah, but you're leaving out the other half of the Blue Star job, in which 9 people died. 2 of them beaten to death with a wrench.
And it ended
I'm not
with
familiar.
one of us having to beat 2 people to death with a wrench.
Yeah.
As the person who had to beat those people with a wrench, I recommend that plan.
See, Eric gets it.
Of course, the DMs. Always
You all
sort of
said it was
favor
crazy
things
for
going
stealing that
full Blue Star
blaster,
job.
and then look who got was
Everybody
it?
wants to do what the crazy-eyed dwarf wants to do. Because he has crazy eyes.
Because no sane plan has ever come from the crazy-eyed dwarf.
I think we just pass without trace to get us in there or get a couple of us in there. We use a combination of hold person and silence. We deal with the rune in situ by whatever means we have to deal with it. We've got enough, like, we don't necessarily, I guess we do have a healer. The rest, we've got also like some half healing throughout the rest of us. We can deal with any, like, if we have to cut the or scar over the rune, we can like cure those wounds and get her out of there. I think that's our route.
I think that is the.
If we can't like just since the polymorph didn't work, we can't just get her out of there easily. And for all we know, she's actually going to like be compelled to fight back, which is why I think like hold persons.
Yeah. Well, that'll be necessary. All right. Well, I guess that's the play. Pass without trace. So it'll be you, me,
Okay.
and Duragar. Because we need.
There's Durgar here?
Or not Dur. What's that?
Oh no,
Is there Durgar?
Daramir.
the Durgar attacked the city while we're standing here and arguing over how to go. All right, you, me, and this party of raiding Duragar will go in there.
I guess it only really needs to be
You're
with
showing
you.
up right in the city and you're like, you're coming with us.
Yeah, do you want Xeraxis since he's also got hold person, just so we have a backup?
What's your stealth, Xeraxis? I know we have a +10, but
Disadvantage.
I have a disadvantage because I'm
Like
in
all
plate.
of you, heavy.
Because I'm in plate, so it's a disadvantage.
I mean you could take the plate off.
But if we get in combat, it hurt.
Right. But the whole idea is that we won't
But-
get in combat for this.
So to get this straight, the plan is to kind of try and sneak back there and then use like hold person and try and like find and erase this rune while they're
Right.
stuck.
That is.
No, not zone of truthing, not invisibilitying, like. Those are the spells you're using are going to probably be like passed out trace, and then try and hold her and jump on top and just look for a room.
And silence probably as well. Just
Okay.
like keep the.
Wait, hang on. Does hold person have a
Well, we can cast it first.
Right, but it's a good to know in case we get our.
You want to have us to have our order of operations down?
Yes. This is gonna be a tactical operation, boys. We got it.
Come on, you need to do the Bogtroddle thing where you like use cards in exactly the wrong order. You're just like, why the fuck did I do that?
Why did
That was dumb.
That was dumb. It is verbal, so.
Most spells are.
Yeah, most spells are, but that's what makes silence so good. It's just to keep in mind that we can't. If she breaks, if it works, we have to. There might be a moment where, she beats the save on the person.
So who's going?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep. Yep.
So I don't know. Well, and I guess that's the other order that we could do is if we can do Zone of Truth, then we can gather more information. So do we try to take that route, or is that just overly complicated things?
When I'm worried about how deep the compulsion's gonna go. I think the hold person silence route is like, even if she's part of clearly she does not want to be here.
Right.
But part of the compulsion, like resisting the spells, may be like raising the alarm.
Right.
And zone of truth might
Trigger that alarm.
yeah.
What's the
Okay, let's just leave her.
From
Doesn't make
with your
sense.
knowledge of spells from your previous Arcana check and from casting Identifier, you think that if she were to fail the save against Zone of Truth, she would have to speak the actual truth, even down to not it would circumvent the spell in terms of she wouldn't have her other programming able to stop her from telling the truth.
Right.
And would probably give her some more semblance in being able to communicate directly with you guys. But you would also know that spell has as the compulsions can be quite complex on the spell that's currently on top of her. You don't know how deep those layers go. She didn't raise alarm when you cast a spell on her before, but she did seem to get you need to leave. So you don't know if that would. You just don't know. You don't know what the layers added in with that enchantment are. So there's a potential for that. There's a potential for a great deal of information, but there is also the threat of her raising the alarm or becoming combative.
Let's see. What happened? Oh, I have silence as well if we needed it, but
I mean, I just don't like. I mean, I'm a ranger. I have very little spellcasting. Period. It's mostly pass without trace and silence that are useful,
yeah.
and some cure wounds. And I just don't have
It's
much.
also like a hex. Can I make it harder to? That's an ability. Ability checks with chosen ability, so not saves. There's not a lot of spells that combo into failing saves, which is probably intentional, but.
Which is intentional.
If we could get
Debuffs
her,
on making saves are very big.
if
Yeah.
we could get her to fail a wisdom save to the harpy, then that would give us 2 hours of her having bad wisdom saves.
That is true. That is true.
I could make her potentially better at making saves for an hour.
Right. Because that was my
That's an
initial
option.
thought was, just make her good enough at making the saves that she could bust out on her own, but it seems like that. Okay. So dealing with the glyph seems like our path forward. It's just about how we want to go about it and who all we want to bring to try to make it happen. Because invisibility, for instance, Jocelyn doesn't have to be there. Lala doesn't have to be there. It could be cast it on YouTube. You have 10 minutes, hustle. Pass without trace is a similar thing.
But it lasts for an hour.
But it lasts for an hour, so it's whatever crew we have could have, both. of
And I can
those.
target a bigger group with pass
Right,
without
and it
trace.
can be a bigger group, so it doesn't necessarily have to be 2 people. Hold person is kind of mandatory, so that leaves me and Jerry, and I think Square. Do you have a hold person? I know it's a cleric spell, but do you have it prepared? Okay. So then the three of us would have the highest chance of causing some immobilization.
Hold person.
Yeah, literally.
It's like,
And in terms of like a mechanical game crunch sense, we could put this into an initiative order.
Right.
If you're like worried about an alarm being raised, and have like readied actions to cast spells be a thing. It would potentially waste spell slots if you're like, I ready to cast like hold person if she tries to raise the alarm, right? Ready to cast this. You could have something like that in play, but the spell slot will be wasted if the event doesn't trigger it in that 6-second period.
Right.
So if you guys wanted to kind of like, you know, go tactical mode, go in turn mode, we could do something like that for the sake of the mechanical crunch of it to avoid the trap, if that's what you prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, so that would have 3 hold persons and a silence underneath the pass without trace. I think that it's basically as good as we're going to get.
Yeah.
yeah.
You do have to take your armor off, though.
Fine, I will.
I mean, I think technically you could probably wear like just the breastplate from your plate armor, which would give you some
Some protection.
It'd knock you down to medium.
Right.
Medium armor.
I mean, that's how I would. That's how.
Yeah,
I would.
I'll
let
do
that work.
that. I'll do that then.
If it comes to it to blows, then I'd say you can do that and be in the equivalent of breastplate.
Yeah.
Cool.
Silence is 10 minutes, which should be long enough for a.
Yeah.
Like if we're casting it just to try and kind of keep alarm from being raised and whatnot.
Right. Hold person's only a minute, so we have to work fast, but we have multiple chances of making it land. So I think, for as far as order of operations for the hold person, I'll go first because it'd be my last spell slot. Wizard things. It's my last spell slot.
But you're using lots of spells today.
Yeah,
Just hidden
yeah.
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. So
Like any good wizard, he can only cast 2 spells per short rest. Wait, what?
Well, are we sneaking back in immediately, or are we waiting?
I think we
time
have to.
until evening?
I think we have to
Okay.
because we
Yeah, if we wait, it probably.
The circus is still very much going on, and there's enough hustle and bustle. There's not many people over by the tents in the back.
Yeah, and
So,
she very
It's
specifically
more
doesn't
likely
do-
to be like less people around.
Right. That's a good
Um,
point.
And it seems like she'll
The
be
tents
unbothered.
themselves right now.
Like no one needs to. They don't have to prep her for the show. They don't need to. She doesn't have another performance.
It seems like she's done for this
Yeah.
event, so
Everyone else
this
would
would
be
probably
busy
be the
with-
most
Yeah. A lot of the other ones are
solitary you will find her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I'll hold. My ready action will be silence in case she tries to raise the alarm.
Right.
But I'll start with pass without trace just so we can.
Yeah.
Try and.
And then you two will, if you hold your action for a hold person in case mine fails, then
Yeah.
that would be the ideal situation. So we can stack it that way. And hey, if she makes all 3 saves, then what can we do?
We do it
Then what
hard.
we do is we we pin her to the ground, quickly carve some bacon off her back, and hope for the best.
Brutal, but
That's not
Yeah.
back bacon. That's your back bacon.
yeah, dispel magic is so good in situations like this, but it's just like we just don't
So
have
you
it on
roll an
hand.
11.
Well, I mean, yeah, then you roll an 11 and then it fucks up, but I mean, you know.
One pass without trace, please.
Okay, let's get stealth checks from everybody who's going.
It's a plus 10?
Plus 10.
Plus 10.
Oh, what a great start.
Is he being sarcastic? Not my
All right.
best pass without trace stealth roll.
I might have you beat on this one.
Oh yeah.
If we're going in order, it's a 27 for me.
27.
I'm not told.
13.
13.
With the
13.
plus 10.
Well, I have disadvantage in minus 1.
Wait, no, but you can take off your armor to not get disadvantage. That's what we were talking about with Jerry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not just like it's not welded onto you. You can take it off and go in your.
You can take it
robes.
off.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I didn't know that's what gave
If
me
we could
this
get a
advantage.
reroll on.
I'll let you have a reroll of one die.
Thank you.
Well, it's 17 then, because that was the first roll that I did.
Alright, fair enough.
-1?
Yeah.
17? Or is it 16? Okay, 17. Alright, sure.
22.
35.
35. Alright.
I don't even
So
know
a
where
quite,
I am.
a quite quiet scamper through. You guys will be able to make it back to the tent.
Alright.
Entering in, she'll kind of turn, I assume entering in, she'll kind of turn to look at you all as you enter in and kind of have a confused look and be like, yes, can I help you?
That's a whole person attempt.
The drow who lived.
The drow who acrobatic come to be free. Oh, hold the person!
Hold the Stephen Candle o'clock.
So, we'll do this as turn-based mode, for the sake of this.
Yeah.
So you are casting a hold person first.
Yes.
And other people's hold persons, I assume, are going to be, I will cast hold person if this hold person doesn't work.
Right.
And yours
Yes.
is, I will silence if the hold persons don't work and she tries to raise the alarm.
Yep.
Is that a fair assumption?
Yes.
So, a 24 on the first wisdom save. We will say that Zaraxis' hold person will be second.
Okay.
And that is an 11 on Zaraxis's. So for the second save,
Okay.
she kind of like twists into kind of looks at you angrily, and you can see both the illusion and real eyes shining through a little bit of like anger and twist, but then all of a sudden it kind of freezes up and she paralyzes and sticks there.
Alright.
My guess.
You have a minute. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I rush up.
You still
and-
lose your spell slots if you had readied the spells. You lose like your second level spell slots, but that's
Okay.
neither here nor there.
I rush up and I start looking for a.
A rune.
The-
That's what I say. I
rune.
say we're looking for a rune or some kind of.
All right. I will say, I mean, there's only so much space
bad.
on one person for
So
everybody to
bad.
check. So I'll say up to 2 of you can make an investigation check to try and find something on her.
I've got a 4. Anyone else got
I've got a -1.
I got a +1.
+1? Jerry?
I have a 0, so Square's probably your best bet.
It's me and Sklur.
Look.
It's for the greater good.
Candle's very perceptive. He's good at a lot of things. He's dumb as bricks.
14.
7.
14? 7? Neither of you are able to find a rune on her this round.
Okay.
Just take her back.
That is 2 rounds worth of this, the casting and then that one, with 6-second rounds and 1 minute's time on this. Basically, you guys have 8 more turns to try and accomplish your goals.
Okay.
So she is paralyzed for 8 more turns. What is everyone doing on this? I say only
I'll
2
try-
people can make the investigation check per turn.
Yeah.
I'll try it. I'll try it this time.
Okay. I'll
See.
go.
Okay.
I'll go again just because I have
Yeah.
the highest.
What's the worst that could happen?
Fuck.
You could miss it
That's
by
it.
1, and I could have rolled it and actually got it. That's the worst
Yeah.
thing that could happen.
That's a 14.
Yeah. No.
14.
I rolled lower than last time.
Okay. Is anyone else casting anything or doing anything? You can't search her body for it, but you could do something
is
else
also
if you'd like to for this round.
This is also
Oh.
concentration spell.
Do you have Zone of Truth?
I do have Zone of Truth.
So that would be a good one to have ready. I have rope. We could tie her up with the.
That's gonna make it look even worse.
I know it's
Oh,
bad.
wait,
Listen,
hey,
but then we'd have Zone of Truth.
What-
Do I
for the
let?
backup.
Do I let?
Mola wasn't involved in this.
Do I let? Do I let pass without trace lapse and use detect magic?
Probably fine.
I mean, you could let me do Zone of Truth, and we can just ask her.
Yeah.
We'd have to
First.
drop the. We'd have to drop the whole person though. I'll drop pass without trace, since we got back
Okay.
here, and I'll cast detect magic and see if that. gives
Okay.
me the ping I'm gonna try.
How quick does detect magic get cast? Is
Truth
it?
is one action.
Yeah,
least the standard
It's
is just one
I
action.
believe it's just an action concentration 10 minutes, but you can cast it as a ritual.
You can't cast it. Yeah, that's
Let
what.
me double check. I'm not.
Yeah, it's one action. It's one action.
I'm not casting it as a
You're good.
ritual, partially because I can't. It's the ritual caster tag of any time.
All right. With the casting of detect magic, I need you to roll me a perception check.
Good. Perceptions.
That's
Much
the name
better
of
for
your
me.
game.
That's a 7.
A 7. You have a hard time telling where any magic is that would be causing a rune like this, as there's a thin layer of illusion magic completely surrounding her. It's like looking at a thermal camera, trying to see like a hot pocket that someone is holding up in front of their chest. Where it's like, you can't see the difference in the magic temperatures because you're looking for illusion magic that is being covered by illusion magic. You think that if this rune is on her, it's probably under a thin layer of illusion and going to be incredibly hard to find because it's on her true skin, not the false skin over the top of her.
Well, I will give that information, I suppose.
That is good information. And of course, if we had a way to disrupt illusion magic, we would have used that in the first place. Okay, so it sounds
So you
like...
think you are looking for an illusion that is hidden by an illusion?
Okay. Then...
You think that it is possible to spot, probably like out of character using an investigation check, just a fairly high check to do so because of the nature of it.
Okay. I'm going to, if I can use my words as a free action, I'm gonna say, let's use the immovable rod to like tie her up real quick, so that way if we can't find it with the investigation checks before the whole person runs out, we can use Zone of Truth to have her tell us where the room is,
All right.
if she knows, or how to break it if there's a way that she knows. So that
Okay.
sounds like a good plan of action now that we're in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can
All right.
crit an
So it'll be next round. We'll start, and then whatever you guys would like to do on this one. Are you making an investigation check, or are you having someone else is tying her up?
Right.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
That one's a 16.
Square, I'll let
16. You're still unable to find it.
I think you can
Square, I'll let you do an investigation this time around, because
Roll it.
I thought it was like dig out 11. So it's
You are unable to find this hidden room. What are the other of you doing on this turn?
I mean, I've got 10 minutes of detect magic.
Okay, sure. I'll give you another perception check.
I've got sharp.
Try and see
I've
through it.
got sharp bird eyes.
He's like, I don't need to be investigating. I just need to be looking.
Kendall, what do your bird eyes see? A 15 is what my bird eyes see.
A 15. You are unable to spot the rune, but something else that you just happen to notice that may be useful if this is sort of an ink, not a like scar or tattoo, is you do notice that on the counter, on the kind of the dresser in front of her, there does seem to be a bottle of like a fairly probably acidic or strong makeup remover that she uses afterwards. You think that that bottle would be very useful if it is a drawn-on rune to quickly dissolve whatever is
Just
on.
douse her with it.
And hey, if it works, it works. I think we can. I think the Zone of Truth backup plan now is going to be, if we don't pass our checks, kind of how we do this. And then Jerry, you
So
wanna-
Zeraxis, are you the one trying to tie her up?
yeah, sure.
Is the only person up?
and I have a movable rod that you can use to.
Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
All right.
Make a Boy Scout check.
A Boy Scout. Woohoo! Crit.
Hey, there you go.
Crit.
Why
Okay.
is Zeraxis so
You
good
do
at
like-
tying knots?
He does this kind of crazy quick knot tie thing, and he does that thing where he slides the immovable rod through it and then twists it around, so it like brings all the ropes in together really tight and then clicks it into place, kind of locking her up really tightly with this stuff.
Perfect. Hey, this whole time
and
I'm
that's the
wondering,
next
it
round.
isn't what it looks like, I promise. Or it is what you know that we're doing. Hang on. Where is this dark thing?
The eyes seem to be kind of darting around angrily, but the body is still frozen in place.
Could, if she's got some amount of control over her eyes, could we use that to
Blink
communicate
twice,
to figure
yeah.
out where the rune is if she knows?
Hey, you
Yeah.
can try it.
You think with Zone of Truth, she could probably be truthful with her eyes, but right now she's fighting very hard to be only somewhat truthful with her eyes.
There. Women, am I right? She's only somewhat truthful with her eyes. Damn. Okay, next round. How many? We're at 3. We can,
Yeah.
I can
Next
roll
round.
these all day.
Yep. So next round.
Bleh.
Nope.
Nope.
Jake?
Perception check?
That's all I got at the
Yeah.
moment.
This is not
They're getting slightly better. That's a 16.
finding the restaurant.
Still no. Zaraxis, you got anything to do? Or are you just holding it down?
I mean, we still haven't found the rune.
We have not.
No.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'll just keep standing by.
Okay.
Because I mean, there's really nothing I
That'll
can
be
do. My investigation's
yeah.
not that good.
And there's only 2 people who can make that check per round, so it's new round. Go ahead and roll another round of checks if you'd like to, unless there's some other spell you're wanting to cast or something else you're wanting to do.
14.
Okay.
It's on the ground. It's the same. Oh, it's right in front of me. Nope. It's a nope.
It's a nope.
It's a nope.
Hey, back down to 7.
All right. Another round.
Hey, 19.
19. You are unable to spot it.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, it's tough.
But you feel like you got real close to being able to spot it.
Listen, out of everyone, I have the best chance. It's just a matter of getting there.
Wait, you have guidance.
Would guidance be better?
Why
In
not
this
just
case,
give you
we get it.
Actually, yeah, guidance would be the best.
Instead of rolling a second die and hoping for a crit, basically.
Might as well just get on roll shit too.
I mean, Zaraxis could look it over while he casts guidance if you want.
Oh, that's true.
I said
you
2
could
people,
cast guidance on
2
me.
people can make the check each turn.
Yeah, smart.
I'd let you
Okay.
guys swap out.
Why are we only now just figuring it out?
What is this? Is this turn
So,
six?
no, wait,
Six
turn
of eight?
or turn
It's an
6 or turn
investigation
5?
check.
Yep, investigation with a D4 from guidance. Good old butt slap magic. Of course, I roll a 2 on the die.
Okay. How does a dirty 20 do?
Wait,
A
how'd you
dirty
get
20?
Well,
Well,
No more
why do you
no
have a dirty
less.
20? I thought you had a plus 0 to this.
Yeah, because it's 16 and then plus 4 with the D4.
No, it's you can only cast
No,
guidance on
you
one.
didn't get guidance, he did.
Oh, I thought I
Yeah,
did.
sorry.
Well, then that's just a 16.
sorry.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, not enough.
Of course, the perfect where it's like, if we had thought to do that, then an optimal thing to do, it would have lucked into working. But
This is turn 7.
Let's see what the perception is.
We're gonna zone a truth.
Are we gonna have to do Arizona Truth?
Another 7.
it depends. We might.
Another 7. Okay. This is there's 2 rounds left until this is gone. So that is where you're at currently. So next round of checks.
Still getting
I assume
guidance?
everybody's doing the same things unless someone's casting a different spell.
Yeah, I mean, unless somebody else wants to, I can cast guidance on them.
I think it's still like we would have lucked into it, unfortunately, but it's still
Statistically,
mathematically
it is
better. Because if it's
Well,
a 20 DC,
If he casts guidance on you and I cast guidance on him,
but guidance is an action. So you're right. He would have guidance on him, but he wouldn't be able to do an investigation because
oh,
yeah.
so we're just doing regular investigations. Then.
Well,
you're
You're giving guidance.
you're
to me.
getting guidance from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's rolling. Oh wait, can you cast guidance, Jerry?
Me? No.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes.
See,
Same. same-
that's where my confusion came from. I thought I had guidance. So,
No.
No.
Okay, so I'm just casting,
Nope.
or is Jerry?
You're casting it on me. Jerry's just rolling investigation, hoping.
Jerry's
you
just
get it
rolling the
correct.
d20 and hoping for a crit.
yep, essentially. Big money. Nope.
Not a crit. Okay.
It's
No
a
worries.
15.
Come on.
Let's get
lucky
another
boots.
perception.
Come on, lucky boots that I took off of that corpse in the
Do you invoke the power of the lucky boots?
Yeah, my lucky graveyard boots. Yeah, that I took off of that
Yeah.
corpse that was stuck in the door in the
You
GTFO
invoke
mission. we
the
did.
power of the lucky graveyard boots and the
Yeah.
the individual who died in them.
Yeah.
Their ghost looks down and you and is like, "Those are my boots." Your roll is normal. Your roll is normal. You thief.
Nope.
Okay. And that goes down to the last round
The
before
last
this will
round.
drop off.
So I can't cast guidance on you because if I'm one of these Zone of Truth, right?
No, because that'll be the next round. Would be when you.
Well, the next round is after this round. It's done, so she'll be able to speak or do things.
Ah, I see. Okay, yeah. So then,
So you're gonna have to do just a.
yeah, you do Zone of Truth on your for your action then, and I'll just do a regular roll. Of course, if I had, hang on. Let's see. If I'd had it, would we have gotten it? No.
No. Okay. No.
It
Okay.
happens.
And perception.
He gets it right at the end. We're like,
19 on perception.
Close. Very close.
so close.
And then I will roll the wisdom save for Zone of Truth.
Charisma save.
Charisma. Oh, okay.
I believe so. Hang on.
Is that?
No,
Let's
it's
double
not
check. I thought it was charisma.
I'm pretty sure it's wisdom.
Whatever's her worst skill.
Wouldn't that be nice?
She is a drow, so a lot of her saves are pretty high.
It is a charisma saving throw.
Charisma.
Yep.
Okay. That makes us a different number.
Check what your saving throw is. You got it.
That's a 14.
Meets it, beats it. Or do you have a
How does
15?
this work? I don't understand.
You should have
8
your.
plus proficiency plus, in your case,
Your
wisdom modifier,
8 plus proficiency.
which should be 3.
Proficiency.
Well, wait, actually, sorry. It is charisma,
Charisma.
not wisdom.
It is charisma.
Okay. Before you tell me, let me check something. What is the charisma?
Yeah, so what's
Excuse
your
me.
wisdom score?
She does the person. It's not a 14. It's a 13 because charisma is one less than.
Yeah,
I don't know what your
I
save is,
think
but.
it still meets it, beats it, because it's...
You only have a +2 wisdom.
Oh, did-
I have +2.
Yeah, because it's 8 plus proficiency,
plus
uh,
your wisdom mod.
plus wisdom mod.
Okay. Well, then we'll have to burn around for you to cast it a second time, essentially.
As long as-
Okay.
Do we need to actually roll initiative here, or?
For this one, we'll roll an initiative round.
Okay. Let's do initiative.
Initiative.
So how come my spell save here?
Oh god damn it.
Because it's 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom. So it's 10 plus what your proficiency is.
Did you roll real bad on that?
Plus proficiency.
No.
'Cause-
No.
Or 11, yeah, 11. Yeah, 10
I
plus
just rolled the crit.
so,
Jerry
11
got the
plus
crit! Jerry got the crit! Hooray!
it's a 13. He did that right. Hey, look, that would have done it too.
That's
Jerry got the
cruel.
crit.
That's so cruel. The way the dice work.
This
I hate it so
this
much.
total of 21 on my initiative, which is the same I would have rolled on my perception just now.
Yeah, or
Uh-huh.
I rolled a 17 plus my dex, which would have been 19 there. So
Yeah,
I would have.
19.
If I rolled the 17, and the 17 would have done it. Yeah.
What do you have, Dermir?
What is this? Oh, for
Initiative.
Initiative.
3.
Okay.
Good.
Well, everybody's going before her except for the 3.
Right. Except
She got a 16.
Yeah.
My proficiency bonus is 3.
What? What?
Yeah, your proficiency bonus
But
is
your
3.
wisdom score is only a +2.
So that would be
8 plus 3 plus 2 is 13.
Oh,
It meets it, beats it.
okay.
And that's what you rolled, is 13.
she rolled a 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were hoping that you had a 14.
I see.
We need to have you pump up your
All right.
wisdom.
You guys can kind of choose what order you do with this stuff in if you want with the initiatives at the beginning. Just Dermir can't cast anything until after she's gotten around. That's the only.
Do we have another
Caveat to
hold
that.
person, or do I need to cast silence?
I mean, I could do hold person again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we just do another round of. Do it again! Guys, 'cause I'm out of spell slots for today. So.
All right, I cast hold person a second time.
That is a 21 on the save.
Yes. Oh,
She
yes.
is not held.
Yeah.
That's what now? Silence. Okay.
Come around.
Well, he can after her turn.
She still has a
Because she gets a turn before that. She is currently bound, which is going to help a lot.
Dude, we cast silence.
I think if we have
Yes,
silence,
silence is on.
If we have silence cast, we can just continue with what we're doing for now.
She says something, seemingly somewhat angrily, and you see her start to try and twist and writhe out of these ropes. She is not able to this round. But
I did a good job.
yeah, your rope tying seems to have got her tied up really. So then Dermir, you will have a chance to cast if you want Zone of Truth or something. Well, I mean, he could cast it if the Zone of Truth is on her and he's far enough away from her. He wouldn't be in the area of it. I would rule that. Like, he has to have the verbal component.
We got some attack. Let's just be while she's as long as the mind is whole. Let's just be because we got some attack. So we don't need to be able to advocate. You know what I mean? If somebody finds the room, they can just slow. You see what I mean? Like, fine. Let's just.
We each take turns looking for it.
Because like I'll just concentrate on. I can't make perception checks anymore. I'll just concentrate on that.
It is going to be decreasing the number of checks you guys are able to make. But you can still continue to do those checks. There is still only 2 of you can cast or can make the checks. Anyways, right? Only 2 of you
Oh
can
wait,
make those.
but that means that Slurp can cast Diamond. Chance. 20 on the dot.
20 even?
20
No more, no less. There's a brief moment as she's twisting and trying to ride out of these where her right shoulder kind of slinks up out of this rope and the sort of illusion that's setting above her kind of stays in place as her arm moves and doesn't correct in time. And you can see the edge on the back of her right shoulder of what looks like some sort of inscribed rune in bluey.
Okay. I'll point that. Right, her right shoulder. Oh, that's what I can't. They can't hear me.
He goes-
I point her right shoulder.
Yeah, he yells for his right shoulder.
As I'm like trying to
I
point
just,
her right shoulder.
I'm just like poorly
Okay. You grab it, you pour it, and as you do, there's like your eyes, it's like kind of like a blurry vision of her. Like she's standing there, she's still standing there, nothing changes, but it's like she kind of has disappeared, but she's still there. It's this weird like twist of your perception, and she's there. It's the exact same as she was standing before you, except that you see a kind of running smearing of kind of rundown, watery smearing of blue ink going down her arm and back, and she kind of seems to relax a moment. Like the tension is okay. She kind of sees you like just kind of utter something and do like a gesture, and she kind of like
She immediately starts screaming.
and she says, release.
Click, I'll unclick the so it's not.
And she kind of angrily kind of twists and pulls out of it and starts pulling these ropes off her, throwing them angrily on the ground. And you see her kind of like standing up and looking and starting to dig through the drawers of this and stuff. And you see her slide open one drawer, reach in and pull out what looks like a pretty heavy-duty set of like shear scissors and tuck it into her belt. And she turns and looks at the group of you and says, "Thank you. Now I have some unfinished business to attend to. I appreciate your help. If you need something from me, speak quickly."
Trying to rescue some kidnapped prisoners from this kind of thing from this house
She like sneers hearing the name House
That's
Argonala.
exactly what we were hoping for. Any information you
But that's sort of where our plan is.
From there, we're winging it. So any information there would help.
Or you know, direct assistance from us.
Direct assistance would be very appreciated. But
She will say, Argonala, they are the house most known for being spider breeders. Worshippers of Lolth, as we all are, but they worship them in different ways than us. The matron of their house, Vicoma Argonala, is a twisted and wild druid who tends to favor the form of a massive spider. She and her entire ilk live in the city of Ordra in the Argonala web. It'll be hard to miss if you see it. If they've taken any of your people and they are not using them for slaves, I would not want to know what they are being used for. If you make it to Vordra, and you make it to House Hunzrin, I can promise little aid, but I can promise, at the very least, I will ensure my mother doesn't see you all dead or thrown in chains.
Thanks.
That would be.
Thank you.
I can start.
Now excuse me. Did you see her
I think it's time to go.
walks like with like a very furious look in her eyes, walk between you and start making her way out of the tent.
Yep. And we skedaddle.
Even if the best she does is just stab
We
it
sneak
with
by,
the
grab our
shears,
armor, and just
that's
book
bad.
it out.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. What a
Okay.
shame. The drow murdered the circus guy. What a tragedy.
Wow, his spell wore off.
A great tragedy.
And then thousands of gold went missing from his pockets.
So, are you guys going to be enjoying any other bits of the circus, or are you heading out?
I
Is
don't.
it-
You know, I think the
There's a raise suspicion if we skip town.
what's the word I'm looking for? The gilding is sort of worn off of this circus for me a little
Yeah,
bit. You know? I
yeah.
think
Just a little
It's
bit.
kind of like
Not
when you
all that
find out
glimmers
about
is
the
gold.
elephants, you know, and you're like, turns out they don't treat very well.
Has it been 2 hours?
Elephants are food.
Nope.
And they remember things.
God damn it.
Let's Now here's the thing. We've I believe it's tomorrow. We're setting out on the Beholder's Box.
Yes.
We've just
Yes.
pulled off a successful rescue. We went to the circus.
Yeah.
Do we get a Slufton round of carousing?
Oh, it's tough.
Because I'm somebody's gonna wake up on an island
Yeah.
in the middle of the lava lake with no idea how they got there.
That would be
We're still on the
insane.
job. This was a nice.
For the
uh,
sake of
business
this,
trip. This is a business trip.
you guys are successful at getting her out. You have this potential favor from the Hunzrin house, and you have the sort of the information that she laid out for you about the Argonala house. You all are going to be able to successfully leave. There doesn't seem to be any screams or anything on your way out. And as you leave the circus, we will call this episode closed. I think timing-wise that'll work well, and then we can kind of pick up what your next moves are, whether that's carousing or getting a good night's sleep before you go and cross the Slagmere on the next episode. So we'll stop it here and see what happens next. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.